Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome back to another Happy Hump Day live stream. That's right. You already know what's up. You already know how we do here. Today is May 27th, 2020. I know. I can't believe we're literally about halfway through the year. I mean, it's only a few days away before we get to June 1st. And we're officially halfway through this year, this crazy year that, well, again, we're all at a loss for words, or are we? So what we're gonna be doing here is the same old that we usually do. I'm setting up right now as we speak, waiting for everyone to get off the bus. As you guys can hear, the bus is getting here as we speak as well. So what we're gonna do is the same thing that we usually always do at the very beginning of these live streams. Is that there you go, bam. I put on a little 5-minute timer real quick, and we do a little chatting it up. We do a little plugs and all that good stuff while we wait for everybody to shuffle in and get everybody ready and good to go, so that we can start the show without having to miss a beat, and without having to repeat myself too many times. So, all right. Well, we're gonna pop in a little 5-minute timer real quick, and we're just gonna go through it. Okay. Guys, please, if you haven't already, check out my website, okay? josearteaga.com. All the links are at the bottom of this video and every podcast and everything, okay? All the links are there. Why do you need to go to the website? Well, basically because this channel that you're watching me on, hey, it constantly gets censored. It constantly gets in trouble. Constantly, you already know what's up, I'm always being ashamed, by YouTube or what have you. So, with that being said, I created another channel. I created a website. I created so many avenues so that you guys can always find me and always know where I am at all times, just like Big Brother, right? I mean, they know where you are at all times. They know where I am at all times, but, sometimes they like to separate us, and I don't like that. So I did this. Okay, so here on the website, you have links to my other channel. You got links to all of my social medias, meaning, you can find me on Instagram, on Twitter. You can find me on, again, my various YouTube channels. You can find the podcast. Okay, so this, I don't know if you're listening to this live right now. By the way, welcome to everyone out there joining us right now. But if you're listening to us live on YouTube, and you want to listen to this on other platforms, especially as a podcast form, then please, literally all you got to do is type in Jose Arteaga in your favorite podcast, whatever, whether it's Spotify, Castbox, Apple, iTunes, whatever. Type in Jose Arteaga, and you're going to find not just these live streams, but the things that I do with the Boomer and the Zoomer. We were recording last night for 2.5 hours. Great show, a lot of comedy, a lot of fun. But again, if you missed it, it's okay. I'm going to be uploading that later as soon as YouTube processes the video, so I can upload the audio file to the podcast. But again, please, if some of you guys prefer to listen to this in audio form, so I provided that. Also, there's on the podcast, there's certain things that I only put in audio form. So check that out if you guys really enjoy a lot of the stuff that I talk about here. There's some exclusive podcast only stuff, just like there's exclusive video stuff and exclusive Instagram content, exclusive Twitter, all that stuff. Also, I'm on BitChute. BitChute varies, sometimes I get to put my videos on there, sometimes I don't. I'm on Library. What is Library? Look, basically what it is just like YouTube, only you earn cryptocurrency for watching videos. And every single time that I upload a video or do a live stream or do anything, it automatically gets linked and uploaded to Library, and it stays there forever. So even if they take down my videos from YouTube, which they do a lot, you can find all of my videos on Library no matter what. They can't take them down there. So again, sign up. You got some referral codes here so you guys can earn extra cryptocurrency and all that good stuff. And yeah, we already covered the podcast, we already covered the other stuff, and I got an email in case you guys want to reach out to me and all this other stuff. Again, also, I have a store in which I'm selling in particular these COVID 1984 masks. Okay, so in case you guys want to wear your patriotism on your face, meaning that this is a way that you can silently protest, by they are already trying to silence us. So in the few cases out there, and there's a few of us out here that we have to go to stores, or we have to go to certain places and we can't enter these places without the mask. Well, this is a great way in which you can show your dissatisfaction with all the sheeple out there. So again, please, if you want to support your cause, please don't pick up one of these masks so that you guys can wear it proudly wherever the hell you guys are. Okay, now it will be even better for you not to wear any of these masks and not to follow any of these protocols or any of that stuff. But again, in the case that we do have to do these things, I've made these masks and also made some T-shirts. You know what I mean? So some COVID 1984 masks. I want to give a shout out to Cali Picker out there because he's the one that encouraged me to make these, and shout out to all of you guys out there that have purchased these so far. So again, I have some T-shirts, not just COVID 1984 T-shirts, but I also have some Bitcoin T-shirts, I love Mexico, get over it T-shirts, do the work 1984 Stockholm Syndrome stickers, all kinds of stuff. Okay, so please, these are great ways you can support the show and all that stuff. Another way you can support the show for free is basically if you purchase things on Amazon, which I know a lot of you guys are purchasing a lot of things on Amazon right now. All you got to do is just go to the website and click on this link or this link, any one of these links, and the affiliate link is everywhere. But anyways, basically how it works is that you click on that link, and you don't have to purchase what's on that link. But anyways, you click on that link, and then you go about your regular purchases, and I get a kickback for every single thing that you buy out there. So the more you buy, the more Amazon rewards me, and it does not cost you anything extra. That's again, an easy, cheap, an easy and free way that you can continue helping the show. But the most important way in which you can help continue supporting the show for free is thumbs ups and share. Share. All right, please share this knowledge, share this information, and all that other good stuff. Especially if you enjoy it, and if you don't enjoy it, share it too. Whatever tickles your pickle out there. So, all right, guys, let's get to it. Let's start getting to work. All right, now I see a few people are in the chat already. I want to give a shout out to everybody out there today. I think the timer's already up. That's right. Always goes over the 5 minutes. But today we're going to be talking about a bunch of things, okay? Not just the importance of privacy going forward and privacy coins. As you guys saw from the thumbnail, I had the privacy coin Monero on my shirt. Okay, here's the privacy coin right here. Okay. A lot of you guys out there are under the misconception that or under the idea that Bitcoin is private. Bitcoin is not private. Bitcoin, the whole point of Bitcoin is the fact that it's not private. I mean, it can be kind of private. I mean, it's semi-private, but the reality is that it's not private. In fact, it is a ledger. Okay, it is a way in order to have maximum transparency with individuals out there, and especially when it comes to like governments and comes to other entities of that sort. So this is why we want in the future for our governments, our corporations, our entities that we work with to be using things like Bitcoin, so that they don't have situations like we're having right now where they're printing, where President Trump or President Obama or whoever the fuck can print trillions and trillions and trillions of money, dollar bills out of nowhere without anyone stopping them. And Bitcoin, let's go to Bitcoin. I don't want to confuse you guys, okay? But anyways, but Bitcoin, the reason that Bitcoin is awesome, or is needed in the future is because, again, it holds these entities out there accountable. So they, all of a sudden, like if your government were using a technology like Bitcoin, for example, they would not be able to print, trillions and trillions and trillions of value worth of Bitcoin. They just can't do that. And every single transaction that they have would have to go on a blockchain, aka the ledger that we're talking about. So therefore, everyone knows exactly every single penny that is moved back and forth, and so on and so forth. So when it comes to like government, when it comes to for medical records, when it comes to government, when it comes to corporations out there, when it comes to a lot of entities, but basically governments more than anything else, you want something like Bitcoin so we can keep an eye on them. It's not supposed to be, remember, right now, they're the ones that are keeping an eye on us, and it's not supposed to be that way. It's supposed to be the private citizen. We, as citizens, have to have the maximum amount of privacy possible. Right now, we have absolutely zero privacy. And so they want to keep it that way, and we are trying to move away from that. So now when it comes to another cryptocurrency, because we always talk about just about Bitcoin and things like that, we try to keep it basic here. But today, we're going to talk a little bit more about a privacy coin and there's other privacy coins out there, for any crypto holics out there in the chat, and you guys want to add your favorite privacy coin, please, by all means, let's chat about it. For me right now, it's Monero, because they're the oldest kid on the block. So anyways, so about Monero, Monero is completely private. They are an actual privacy coins. Okay, again, I'm not going to get too much into technology and all that mumbo jumbo, because again, it's like, you guys, most of the people out here listening, and most of the people that I kind of cater to on my channel and all that stuff, you guys just want to know how your cell phone works. You don't want to know all the little intricacies about how the little chips and the this and the that and the that works. You don't care. You just want it to work. You just want to know, hey, how come this is not working, or how come what do I got to do to make it work? So it's the same thing with this. All right, I think a lot of people are in the same boat when it comes to this stuff. You know what I mean? You guys just want to know the basics, how it works, why we need it, and yada yada yada. So when it comes to Monero, they're an actual privacy coin. They would be what you would think of when you're thinking privacy. When you're thinking, like, if you were thinking of Bitcoin being a privacy coin, meaning that, just like a dollar, here, let me show you for reference here, but just like if you have paper money, it's pretty private. As long as you keep it, or even this is private to a certain extent. These things are private. If you keep these dollars in digital form, not private. If you keep this gold or silver in digital form, not private. Okay. Now, Monero is a way in which you can keep digital money privately. And what does that mean? Well, if this dollar bill is private. I mean, not necessarily, because anyone out there that is looking at it, you guys already see the serial number, you know that I'm touching and I'm attached to it. So basically, you go that this dollar belongs to me. But, if I was not recording this live on air, coming to you from, anyways, but if I wasn't doing that, and I would have this dollar bill in my wallet, okay, it's private. Nobody knows that I have this except for me. Unless I tell other people, hey, I have my money in my wallet. I have this amount of dollar bills in my wallet. So essentially, if I have $100, $200, 1,000, whatever the fuck money I have in my wallet and paper money, okay, and then I did not acquire that from a bank, that would mean it's private. So how do I acquire these bills privately? Easy. Let's just say that I have this cell phone. Okay, and I don't want it no more. So I want to sell it on Craigslist, or I want to sell it I just want to sell this phone. So I, either on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, whatever, I want to sell it. So what do? On the internet, I link up with somebody that is interested in buying this phone. I meet with them in a parking lot at McDonald's. Okay, when we get to McDonald's, I exchange this phone to him, and he exchanges a bunch of paper money to me. That's it. Nobody knows about that transaction unless I declare it, to the IRS. Okay, which 99.99% of people do not. Okay, and the person acquiring that phone is also not going to be telling any entity about his, acquisition of a brand new phone, because that would mean he would also have to pay taxes. But now you see why they need to, they want to control everything, and they want to have their digital money, and they want to make sure that they can control, which they do. They know everything about you. How things move back and forth, every single purchase you make, every single movement you make, every single thing you make. And look, again, the control comes from the taxation. Taxation, right now, we're living in a world of taxation without representation, basically. And so they want to keep taxing us, and they don't want to represent us. They want to represent, their corporations or their bosses, all these other entities that are not, in our best interest, or acting in our best interest. So, that's why they're trying to eliminate things like paper money, because paper money is the only real way that we still have left in order to transact privately. All right, and kind of like go around the tax man. And in a sense, so is gold and silver, but nobody uses gold and silver as money or currency. But what are people starting to use as currency? Digital money like Bitcoin and Monero. So again, they can, in essence, track your Bitcoin. Okay, basically, so if instead of paying with cash, you decide that you're going to pay with Bitcoin, Okay, what they can actually basically track it, but it's not that easy either. You would have to leave a huge crumb paper trail. You know what I mean? Like a large trail for them to basically go and track your Bitcoin that you purchased and the transaction that involved you purchasing the phone or vice versa. So, but they can do it, but it just takes a lot of tech forensic work. Okay, but it can be done. All right. Now, when it comes to something like Monero, or again your favorite private cryptocurrency out there, they can't track it. Okay, just because of the technology itself, they cannot track it, because every time that it moves, it creates a brand new address or a brand new this and a brand new that, and it's just constantly changing. As it changes and moves around, it is constantly creating a brand new address or name or what have you. So that's how these privacy coins in a sense kind of work. You know what I mean? I'm not the techie guy to talk about that. Okay, I'm not going to pretend to, but that's why these privacy coins are important going forward. Now, these privacy coins up until now haven't really been that mainstream for a lot of reasons. But look, let me just give you guys a quick what is it? A quick 1, 2, 3 here. A quick explanation. Right now, when you hear about Bitcoin being used on the dark web to purchase drugs and purchase this and purchase that, listen, not really, okay? Not really. Because since now Bitcoin can be tracked and has been tracked, again, it takes a lot of work, but it can be done. And again, you can hide your tracks, and the more you hide them, the harder it is. But again, if they really want to, they can figure it out. That's the cool thing about Bitcoin, the fact that it can always kind of be always tracked, okay? And anyways, the point I'm making is that a lot of people that have been doing business on the dark web using Bitcoin, well, guess what? When big government has wanted to clamp down on these individuals, they can and they have. Okay? Because of Bitcoin and the paper trail, and especially a lot of these individuals that basically they purchase the Bitcoin out of their bank account digitally, so there's already a paper trail there, and then they can just track the transactions from that Bitcoin all the way through the dark web, and bam, bada bing, bada boom. They know what you did. Now, according with, sorry, hold on. I dropped my. But when it comes to like a privacy coin like Monero, they cannot track you. So even though they can track up to a certain point, meaning that you used your credit card, okay, to purchase Bitcoin, and then you use that Bitcoin to purchase Monero, that's where it ends. Because once you purchase it, yeah, they know you purchased it, but then it just goes into a hidden wallet, then they don't know. And then if they even that's all they know. They just know that you purchased it, but they don't know anything else. They can't track it beyond that. Okay, so what am I getting at? Well, every transaction on the dark web that does not want to get caught, or not just the dark web, but any dark entity like that, any underground black market, okay, that goes on all the time, what these criminals are really using are things like Monero. But let me throw a quick, a curveball at you. The reality is that these entities on the dark web, these entities like drug dealers, these bad hombres, these bad actors, none of them use cryptocurrency, let alone Monero. In fact, it's a small fraction. I want to say, look, honestly, I'm just throwing a number out here. I want to say 5%, but the reality, it's probably like 0.5% are people are using things like Monero. What do they use? What does the world use in order to do stuff? Again, underground black market purchases. What is the one currency, the one private currency that the whole world will continue using until they don't? The dollar. The US dollar. The US dollar is what is used for every drug transaction, every illegal transaction, every money laundering transaction, literally every single illegal activity around the world, dollars. Okay? Not Monero, not Bitcoin, none of that shit. No, dollars, okay? Not Zimbabwe, not whatever dollars, not fucking Mexican pesos, not gold or silver. No. US fucking dollars, okay? And the paper version of them, okay? All right? And this is a fact. You can all look it up. All right, the biggest money launderer on the planet is HSBC Bank. All right, and the second and third and fourth largest money launderers, and I can keep going, are also banks. And what happens to these banks when they get caught with money laundering? Nothing. They send their lawyers to represent them in court. They get slapped with a few fines, and at the end of the year when they're doing their taxes, it all goes down as a loss. All right, they just write it off as a, again, cost of doing business, and the government actually pays them back that money. So just to give you again, how the rich keep getting richer and how you keep getting poorer. All right. Just like I was watching a little side note here, I was watching a video of a lady, pleading with her local government in the U.S., talking about the fact that, this lady, just a typical story of a typical American, a lady working at McDonald's. And when she worked at McDonald's, she wasn't making enough money, so she classified as poverty level. So she got food stamps, she got help from the government, she got all kinds of stuff plus her check. Well, a few months later, or 30 days later, whatever, she got promoted to manager. As soon as she got promoted to manager, she started making a little more. As soon as she started making a little more, her rent went from $450 to $950. She couldn't afford it no more. They took away her food stamps. They took away everything. Okay? They took away everything, and only because she got an increase of just a few bucks. Okay? A month. And they took away everything. All right? So what did she have to do? She had to resign from her managerial position and go back to just being a shit employee so that she can feed her family again. And this is a typical story of what happens in the U.S. So you see how the poor get poorer, and it's more difficult for them to move up. And when it comes to the people up on top, it's easier for them to stay up top and easier for them to keep siphoning money out of your pocket. Because, where else are they getting these dollars from? They're getting it from your pocket. No one else. And you're giving it to them. Most people are giving it to them, okay? Unfortunately, it's just the way it is. Going down to like that stimulus check of $1,200 that we got. Basically how it works is like this. We got a stimulus check. Every American around the world got a $1,200 stimulus check. But that stimulus check is costing every single American around $40,000 to $50,000. I forgot the exact figure, but around $40,000 to $50,000 in debt. Meaning that now each citizen is getting that check, but they're also incurring another $50,000 in debt. What does that debt mean? Remember, we're debt slaves. We are slaves, for lack of a better description. And how do they control us? With debt. All right. And so in this case, how does that debt work? Well, again, these are more taxes that we got to pay. This is how things are getting more expensive. All that debt, eventually comes, trickle down economics, eventually hits you over the head, as inflation, as more taxation, as, just things like that, meaning that, 20 years ago, you were making $10 an hour. Today, you're making $11 an hour. 20 years ago, you were paying, again, $300, $400, $500 in rent. Today, it's $1,500. So you see, and I know most of you guys know this stuff. That's why we're here talking about this and having this discussion and all this other stuff. But that's kind of where we're at, and we're going to be talking about several things today. But I just wanted to kind of touch on the whole privacy thing, the privacy issue, because it's a very important issue going forward. Because again, as each day goes forward, here, let me give you a quick little meme here. But again, as we move into this new normal, right? Let me see if we can make this bigger. Hold on. I just love how Windows only works when it wants to work, right? Jesus. Okay, so I think you guys can see it on the screen there. How do I make it bugger? There we go. So this is the new normal, guys. All right, just like it says right there. All right, so you see on the screen, you got that guy, with the haircut, with that hair. What I mean? It's like it's a brain blocker. You got the muzzle mask. You got the chip implant. You got the social distance sensor. They removed your gender. Endless vaccines. You're spineless. You gotta have that shirt that says obey. Mandatory phone with tracking, vaccine ID, travel license, social score, and digital wallet. So the reason that we, need to focus on privacy nowadays is because, well, we already know that they know everything about us and nothing is private anymore. And so the reason we got to start moving into privacy, and again, just like Edward Snowden says, it's not about, moving into complete privacy, because that's the thing. If you leave the system and you become 100% private, you go off the grid, oh man, all you're doing is just setting off red flags and they're coming after you. But what do you got to do when it comes to privacy? Well, basically, again, if you're saving money, don't save them in US dollars and putting them in a US bank account, which can be taken away from you. By the way, don't save in any currency by any government, and don't keep it in any bank, because it can all be taken away from you or reevaluated, or whatever. What do I mean by reevaluated? Basically they take, you have $100 bill, you have $100 in your bank, all right, and all of a sudden they go overnight, okay, and they say, hey, we're going to reevaluate the money because of inflation, blah 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 blah. So the money that you have in your bank, we're going to reevaluate it for you. Okay, and then you're like, okay, yeah, sure, whatever. You go to the bank, and instead of having your $100, all of a sudden, this is what you have in there, $1. All right? So that happens all the time, all around the world. It's happening more now than ever. The U.S. is not going to, be able to, what is it? They're not going to be able to be saved from this, because they're the ones that are the money printers at the moment. All right? They're the ones that are, with the world reserve currency. So as each country and each area falls, as each monetary system falls, eventually the dollar will fall last and fall hardest. But even George Soros was talking today, talking about the breaking up the EU, breaking up the euro and all this other stuff, or having euro bonds or whatever. Anyways, I forgot, he was just talking about that stuff. But we have a lot of things coming our way right now, and again, the euro is probably going to fall. I think most currencies around the world are going to fall before the dollar falls, but we're already seeing the dollar fall. And how are we seeing the dollar fall? By it being printed into oblivion. Look, early this morning, I had an old friend of mine that doesn't know anything about Bitcoin or anything about any of these things that we talk about here, and they basically just asked me, hey, how's it going, Jose? Long time no see, blah blah blah, hope all is well, blah blah blah. Hey, sorry to bother you, but I just wanted to ask you a few questions about Bitcoin. Can you help me with this? And so yeah, I just gave her the basics, gave her the rundown and all that shit. But yeah, we're there. And to me, that's a major sign. That's a major sign. When just a random regular human being out there, regular person that doesn't think about these things, or doesn't involve themselves in this world, all of a sudden now they are losing faith in the dollar, in their own currency, and they're now starting to question and ask. So if people are questioning not just the dollar and their currency and their government and their economy and all this other shit, again, we're also seeing that they're questioning the new normal, meaning like as the propaganda on the media, as more and more people out there are saying, hey, you got to wear your mask, hey, you got to get your vaccine, hey, you got whatever, we're starting to see a lot of pushback. In fact, that's what we're going to move on to. All right, give me 1 second. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Hold on, let me do one thing at a time here. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about is the fact that the world is protesting, all over. So I'm going to show you real quick this one. And we're going to see a few of them, okay? So this is what's going on in Hong Kong right now, okay? Hopefully you guys can hear it. It's only like a minute, 2 minutes long, okay? I haven't even seen this, but again, do we really need to... But anyways, I'm just going to play it real quick, okay? And I'm going to look at the chat. I got to unplug something back there real quick. All right, give me a sec, all right? But here, check this out, guys. So we got the Hong Kong protests back in full action right now. Let's see what other protests we got. We got a few protests. So anyways, what's happening in Minneapolis right now? What's happening over there in Minneapolis, Minnesota, whatever? What's going on over there? And it's funny because, to me, me, just like a few of you guys out there, we've already been victims of police brutality. I've been a victim of police brutality. I've talked to you guys about it many, many times before in the past. I've got videos on it, the whole thing. So, I've been talking about this for a while, you know what I mean? This has been a concern for me for a while and all that stuff. So, it's funny that, it's something that I talk about and I all of a sudden now we're seeing what happened with the death of this black individual by the cops, and now is when people are starting to riot and really, lift up. And again, it's always an underlying situation, meaning that, we've been having this problem for a very, very, very long time, but people are at the point of waking up. People are at the point of we've had enough, and now that's why you're starting to see the massive pushback. As soon as all of a sudden now they kill a black man on the streets in front of the broad daylight like they always do, because they do this all the fucking time. It's not like they fucking stopped all of a sudden. They've been doing that forever. Now all of a sudden people are like, hey, what the fuck, enough is enough. So whatever is causing people to wake up and push back, I think it's just that people have had enough. People are, just like all the things that we've discussed. They're seeing that they're losing their freedoms right in front of their eyes. The reason that they're doing this in Hong Kong right now is because, China took over Hong Kong secretly, quietly, while everyone is in quarantine, and they just kind of said, okay, we're taking over. And the people are like, what? You know what I mean? Like, so the people just went to the streets. Now this is in Poland. We're going to just, go through the fucking news cycle here. All right. Let me bring down there. Okay, so this is in Poland right now. So again, we're going to see, we're just going to keep going with what suggestions they're giving me here, okay? But as you guys can see, you know what I mean? People are pushing back. Okay, so real quick, I'm going to go through the chat. I know you guys have been chatting it up in there. Been talking for 30 minutes, right? Whatever. All right. A lot of people. Shout out to Jonathan. Shout out to Luke. Shout out to Dale. Shout out to Letitia. Shout out to Duke. Oh, hey, Duke. Nice to meet you, brother. Hey, Lucy. What's up, Hanson? That's right. Taxation without representation. 1,000,000%. Yeah, fuck the new normal. Oh, I don't know how to say your name, Letita. I think it's Letita, right? Anyways, Letita, I actually do have that. Okay, so just once you're done here, just go to my my YouTube page, and it should be somewhere. It's one of the playlists. Just check it out. But I do have Bitcoin for beginners. I've made a few videos on it. I got to do more. But not only do I have some Bitcoin for beginners, but I also have a lot of Bitcoin content on my channel. So just check that out, okay, for more information. And also, please, if you really want even more information, check out my Discord, okay? Link is at the bottom description, okay, of every video. Check out the Discord where we have a giant chat room where all kinds of people, we're talking about all kinds of stuff in there, and we have a bunch of crypto knowledge, and you can, ask more questions and get more help there, okay? A little community. Again, I'm trying to do for beginners here because there's a lot of crypto people out there, but I'm trying to focus on beginners. The beginners, you know what I mean? So yeah, I do have info on that, okay? Yeah, look, basically all the protests that are happening all around the world right now are because of Corona in one form or another. Because, again, yellow vest. This is the yellow vest in France right now, okay? So, because in one form or another... Hold on, I'm trying to cut down. I have a lot of things running here. I'm trying to cut down on some programs. Anyways, where was I? Oh, yeah. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So what's basically happening right now is that Corona, was being used as an excuse, okay, in order to implement all kinds of things within their country, within their government, okay? So again, in Poland, it's election stuff. Here in Mérida, Yucatan, where I am right now, they wanted to install cameras and more security all over the place, so that's what they're using their quarantine time for. In other places like the U.S., they're passing more laws to take away more of your freedoms, to take away more of your rights and your liberties. Again, as we've covered many times on the show, it's not like you had any to begin with, but anyways, now they're blatantly doing it. So that's what's going on in the U.S. at least, you know what I mean? They're passing more laws, they're printing money out of, into oblivion. So every single country is using the corona excuse, for their benefit, meaning, in Hong Kong, they're trying to, the Chinese government is trying to take over Hong Kong, and so on and so forth. But as we've discussed many, many times on this show, really what's going on is that, this is a pandemic, everything that's going on has been economic in one shape, form, or another. As I've talked about on this channel for years, this day was going to come. We just didn't know how it was going to come. We just didn't know it was going to be this way. But now that we're here, I know. I mean, I've been kind of like talking about this and predicting this in a sense, for a long time. And a lot of people, again, that's when more and more people are reaching out to me, all the time, trying to figure out, like, oh shit, you were right. Now what do I do? And it's funny because it's like, well, you should have just listened to me, the last couple of years. If you want to know what to do, go back to my older videos and listen to me then. But, right now, what's going on is like, we're already kind of past that point of no return. Now we have no choice but to push back and fight back to get our everything back, or if not, we're going to lose them forever. We're at that point. Before any of this started, before the pandemic started, before this virus started, we were already protesting all around the world. Okay? So they started this, again, pandemic, okay, in order to, all right, let me see. I want to see more of these protests, okay? So this is in Paris right now. Okay? Let me see. I'm trying to see if I can find. Anyways, but yeah. So what's going on right now is like, again, like I was saying, this was all planned because the economy, the world economy, was going to reset. It had to reset, okay? And they had to figure out a way to reset everything and start implementing a lot of the NWO talking points. The things that I was showing you in that picture there. How are they going to implement, computer chips in everybody's arm? How are they going to implement, all of the tracking devices? How are they going to implement all this? And not just implement it, but for you guys to volunteer into it. So this is what they did. Because if all of a sudden the economy would have fallen and tanked, and they would have just said, hey, sorry, we fucked up with the economy. Look, man, people would have been very, very, very pissed and would have been on the streets immediately. Like they were already on the streets before, but it would have been even more so. It would have been like 10 times as much. So what did they do? They figured out a way to get everybody indoors, get everybody to put on their mask, aka shut the fuck up. All right, everybody to comply, to be a good citizen, and all that good stuff, while they, blamed the whole economic situation on the virus when it had nothing to do with it. You know what I mean? All that stuff was gonna happen anyway. Okay, but they have now again the perfect scapegoat, which was the virus. Because again, as we sit here today, the CDC, the CD-fucking-C, all right, has already said that, the death rate for this thing is 0.003. I mean, come on. You know what I mean? And pretty much all around the world, it's beyond insane that they're still trying to implement all of these lockdown measures, trying to implement soft openings, trying to implement all of these draconian measures to deal with something that's not really killing anybody, that's not really harming anyone, that's not really doing anything. But again, their propaganda is so strong. There's so many NPCs out there, so many people out there that believe that propaganda so much that, that's why we're in this mess to begin with. But as I was stating before, in months past, I think that like I was saying, I thought that the longer that people were going to be in quarantine and sitting in front of their YouTube and watching a lot of these videos, and people like me, and educating themselves and going down the rabbit hole, people were going to start slowly figuring it out. And that's what we've seen. That's what's going on right now. That's how people are waking up. And so, now it's two teams. Like I've talked about many times before. It's Team COVID or Team non-COVID. That's it. And so, now they're pitting the whole world against each other. It's all the people that believe all the government propaganda and all the people that do not believe the government propaganda. And there's like a major clash going on around the world in every single community around the world for the most part. Not everywhere, but almost everywhere. You're seeing everyone clashing. Now it's basically clashing with each other. Again, pro-government supporters versus non-government supporters. And that's it. And it's, this is why, again, even more need for privacy. So why do we need something like Monero? Because in times like this, when you're seeing that the whole monetary system is, being changed from one to another, the whole economic system is changing, the whole social system is changing, the whole world is changing. Okay? You need to figure out a way to protect your wealth. Your wealth. All right. Notice I have not said money. I have not said fucking, your stuff. No. Your wealth. What is wealth? Well, wealth is what you trade. When you trade your time for this thing called money. Okay. Really, what you're doing is that you're trading your time for wealth. But they don't give you wealth. They give you money, and that money. That currency, what they give you is what you trade for bills. So again, how does the world work? Well, you are a debt slave. You have to go to work. They give you these paper notes called currency. You use that paper currency to keep paying bills and keep remaining a slave. In order for you to get out of that slave ship or slave plantation, you need to start earning wealth. But they don't allow you to earn wealth. Why? Because they don't educate you on what wealth really is. And so that's where, you have to go out on your own and learn it on your own. And if you ask your grandma, she knows what wealth is, but why don't you know what wealth is? Or what isn't your generation or the younger generation know what it is? So again, wealth is, things like property, things like gold and silver, okay? Things like Bitcoin, okay? Monero. Okay, but in this case, we're talking about privacy. So if you own Monero, in a sense, you have these coins, this value that is now being privately held, and nobody knows about that wealth except for you. And you can trade that wealth for anything you want. Whether you want to trade it for paper money, whether you want to trade it for gold or silver or property or whatever. Okay? But you can trade that away. All right, and that's the thing, but they don't know how much you have of it. So if all of a sudden you spend, you're getting stimulus money, or you're getting, a lot of fake paper money, dollar bills or whatever it is, or you're selling things and you're getting money, and they don't necessarily know, or they're not necessarily tracking it, because again, if all of a sudden you get a $1,200 stimulus check, one example, and you cash it out, meaning you go to the bank and you put your ATM card and say, give me all my cash, that's it. They can't track it further unless you carry your phone with you and you start going to McDonald's, you start going to fucking Home Depot, you start going here and there, and you start making purchases, which they know of, and they can essentially track your cash. But if all of a sudden you trade that cash for Monero, well, they don't know where it went. They don't know what happened. All right, and when it comes to tax time, it's like, well, I lost that money, or whatever. You feel me? Like, so there's ways to get around this. There's still ways in which you can protect your privacy. And there's other mediums. Meaning that there's things like Proton Mail, which I'm on the fence of. Like where you can have a private email. And protect your privacy. When you have like VPNs to protect your address, but again, these are owned by private corporations, So, and then they're also sharing your data, so how private really are they, and so on and so forth. So, but when it comes to something like Monero, or other privacy coins out there, like Digibyte, like Dash, and so on and so forth. Decred, I think, and there's other privacy coins out there. Again, this is a way in which you can protect your wealth. Meaning, again, you can get these dollar bills, trade them for that Monero, all right, and then later on in the future, when shit hits the fan and you need to get your money out, you can get your money out because nobody even knows that it's there. But in the very near future, when you're trying to get your money out, the government already knows how much gold and silver you have or own, and how much Bitcoin you own, and how much dollars you own. So they can take all that shit away. You know that they can take it all away. But if they don't know what you have, they can't take it away. Even if you have cash money under your mattress, they can take it away. You follow me? But when it comes to these digital currencies, they can't, because it's just a passphrase that's in your brain. All right? So unless you let them implant a fucking chip in your brain, all right, that gives them access to your passcodes, they can't get to it. So, that's why, privacy coins are going to be the future going forward. And Bitcoin, I'm a big Bitcoin guy. I hold more Bitcoin than I do Monero. That's a fact, okay? And the thing is because, again, there's they're all they all have their properties. They all have their value. They all have their reasons for existing. And that's why you need to educate yourself on the history of money. The real hidden secrets of money. Meaning, what is gold? What is silver? What is what are the needs of all these things? Why do we need to have them? Again, because that's the thing. But most people don't even understand why you need to have Bitcoin or Monero or silver or gold or any of these things. They just have all 1,000% faith in their government. They have 1,000,000,000% faith in the dollar. But again, if you know anything about history, if you know anything about anything out there, you know fully well that having too much faith in government is a recipe for disaster. And we're seeing it now. That's why you're seeing so many people around the world, protesting and pushing back, because people are still slowly realizing what the hell really is going on. All right. So, all right, we're gonna see what other protests we have, because we got protests happening all over the world. But actually, so one thing that I saw the other day, what I wanted to share with you guys, was these videos that Bolsonaro. Okay, but by the way, this is only going to be video only, okay? Because unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to translate this too much. So I'm sorry for the audio audience out there. It's only going to be a few minutes, okay? But basically, Bolsonaro, okay, which is the president of Brazil, okay, was talking in private to his staff. Talking in private to his congressmen or whatever, other legislators and shit, and talking about, the need for a Second Amendment, the need for guns, the need for protection, against the big government. Because, what's going on right now is, again, in a country like the U.S., as the shit is hitting the fan, you guys in the U.S. can fight back. You guys have guns. Out here in Mexico, same as in Canada. Canada has guns, even though they're trying to take them away, they still got plenty of guns. Same as Mexico, there's plenty of guns here. Remember, there's a reason that the U.S. armed everybody out here. Okay? Okay? So an armed population is not, going to be taken over. Now, a good majority of the world, unfortunately, not armed. That's why they're able to do, not just have these insane protests, where they're just squashing the people, but, they can get away with it. Again, that's why the people need to come out even more and more and more. And it's, even harder, because, again, it's like they don't have weapons. That's why, all of a sudden the protest here in the U.S., when people are showing up with their guns, the reason that they're showing up with their guns is to avoid water cannons, to avoid arrest, to avoid all that shit. Okay? Because they're going to do it. You know how the cops in the U.S. are. They're looking for a reason and an excuse to fucking beat you up and arrest you and treat you like shit. But guess what? If you have an AK-47, if you got a bazooka, if you got a fucking handgun, in fact, if you got plenty of them, and you got a lot of them, and you got a little mini militia, standing there in front of your protest, Well, you're already seeing the results. You see what the people do. You see what these cops, these fucking pigs, these fucking pieces of shit do. They turn around and they walk away. Exactly. All right? So, same thing out here as well in Mexico, okay? The people that really run the show out here are the cartels, are the people underground, just like in Miami. I'm from Miami and that whole thing, and that shit, you know what I mean? So it's not even about that. Yeah, sure, grandma doesn't have a gun. I don't, certain people out here, most people don't have a gun. An actual citizen doesn't have a gun, but they have a militia, okay? That is protecting them against the government, really, okay? And that's how it is in Mexico and how it's supposed to be in the U.S. At the end of the day, remember, the Second Amendment is the ability to not just have a gun, but to form a militia. And again, all of these are to push back against the government. When the government gets too strong, the government gets too powerful, the government gets to, the point where it is now, we have this thing called the Second Amendment that allows us to protect ourselves against a tyrannical government. That's it. Okay, so as they're trying to take your guns away, that's why people are, the people that are awake are realizing what the fuck is really going on here. All right. So, yeah. So that's what's going on. Oh, we got a spammer in the chat. All right, hold on. Man, is anyone out there with a wrench that can fucking get rid of that guy? Thanks. Appreciate it. Hold on, I'm reading some comments here. You know what? I'm going to do all that real quick. Hold on. 1 second, man. Ugh. Jesus. Freaking spammers, bro. I mean, I really don't understand, like, how these spam people work, you know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck do they think they're gonna get? All you're making is people not want to fucking check your shit out or anything like that. God. Alright, hold on, man. Anyways. Zugataga, bro. Get out of here. Get out of here with your fucking crap, bro. Hold on, man. See, now I gotta go out of my way to fucking block this guy or whatever the fuck it is I gotta do. Jesus, bro. Yeah, wow. Yeah, bro. You should know better, bro. And if you don't know better, this is how you learn. I guess this one, right? All right. There we go. Ta-da! By the way, hope everyone's still out there. I don't know if hopefully thing did not get too All right. Hopefully the stream is still going, all right? I apologize for whatever. Okay, yeah, so real quick, let's talk about Bolsonaro for 1 second, okay? So when it comes to Bolsonaro, I was under that same impression, thinking Bolsonaro, the president of Brazil was a terrible dictator, a terrible dude, a terrible everything. Until I saw these videos, and then when I saw this guy talking about, what's going on, it's like, oh, wow, wait a minute. I'm all of a sudden, I'm a Bolsonaro fan. So, look, I'm going to let you guys read this real quick, okay? I'm going to read the chat for a second. I'm going to let you guys read this, okay? Hopefully you guys are watching, and hopefully you guys can read it. Please let me know, all right? Because it's in Brazilian. It's in Portuguese, okay? Sorry. All right, so I'm going to give a little context real quick. And by the way, Duke, yes, man, as soon as the quarantine's over, we're all going to get a beer, chat it up, and talk and all that shit. Don't worry. For sure. All right, down. All right, but yeah. So real quick, what is Bolsonaro basically saying for the audio audience out there? Look, Bolsonaro is basically saying, look, I don't give a fuck about my election. That's not what I'm here for. The reason I became president, the reason I'm here is to help my people, protect my people. My people are demanding why I'm not doing anything, and this is why I want to sign a decree right now to arm every citizen. To arm every citizen against a tyrannical government that is going to take over their lives and turn them into slaves. Again, it's like, what the fuck he basically says, what do you want? You know what I mean? Do you guys want to be earning $20 a month working slave jobs and for slave wages? Or do you want to protect your livelihood? You want to protect your country? You want to protect everything? That's what we need to arm everybody. What's going on right now around the world is a travesty, and we're not going to be being hold down to this and blah blah blah. So, again, please, check this out on your own. I'm going to play it a little more. Now I'm going to put the volume down so you can just read. But yeah, basically, again, like he is basically saying that there's so many entities, the government. Just like in the U.S., people are like, oh, Trump this and Trump that and all this shit. But the reality is that, again, there's just so much corruption. The government is so big. There's these things called central banks. There's so many bad hombres, bad entities out there that are always going to be pushing back and pushing against all this shit. So, again, that's why he is saying is like, I can only do so much. But if our citizens are armed to the teeth, if every single citizen has a weapon, we have a fighting chance against this fucking NWO agenda. And so when I heard this shit, I was like, holy crap. I don't give a fuck about any of his politics, you know what I mean? But that's the shit that you want to hear from your president. That's the shit you want to, whatever, like just that. You know what I mean? Just basically saying like, hey, you got to take your government back. You got to take your country back. You got to take your rights back. The people need to do that. The people will do that. But if if they're not armed, they're not going to be able to stand a chance. Again, just as we're seeing in all these other videos of, people getting, people getting squashed in Hong Kong, in Paris, in Amsterdam, in Germany, in, all over the world. All over the world, because they don't have a leg to stand on, for lack of a better description. Family, God, Brazil, guns, freedom of speech, free market. Whoever doesn't accept that is in the wrong government. So again, he's saying it straight up. And he's not going to pretend and say like, oh, I'm going to bring this to the people and give it to the people. No, the people are going to get it. The people are going to demand it, and they're going to get that. But in order for them to get that, they're going to have all that. But again, the important thing is that a citizen needs in today's world are these things. You know what I mean? Like, you need guns in order for a freedom of speech, in order for a free market, in order for these things to function. If not, they're not. You need. By the way, I want to give a shout out to Letita. Sorry, I can't say your name right. Letita. I want to give a shout out to Letita. She just became a $10 patron out there. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Appreciate all my patrons. Appreciate all of the contributors out there. You guys are fucking rocking. You guys are the best. You guys help me continue to make this stuff for you and all that good stuff. So I just want to give a shout out and thank you. And yeah, you're right about what you were saying about the censorship. I get censored all the time. That's why at the very beginning of the live stream, I talk about, go to my other channel, check out my other stuff, because you never know. And yeah, you know what I mean? Whenever the signal gets a little wonky, yeah, they're definitely censoring, okay? For sure. You know what I mean? It happens all the fucking time. Not just here, on other channels. But I want to shout out to everybody out there. Shout out to DJ, Coyote, Mary Bell, Stacks, Alemão, everybody out there. Because an armed people will never be enslaved. Exactly. Like just what he said there. An armed people, he wants everybody armed. Okay? So, and you know, I mean, for reals, you know what I mean? Like, again, I was not necessarily a fan of Bolsonaro because, you know, there's just so much that you hear about him in the mainstream media and all this other shit. And the way that he is, he's very, very strong-handed, you know, and the way he is. But when I heard this, I was like, man, I'm not gonna fucking lie to you, man. I'm now looking at Brazil as a place to, you know, maybe go check out. Okay, that's where I want to be. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You know, but like, yeah, bro. I mean, he has the right idea. He has the right, you know, mindset. And yeah, you know what I mean? Like, that's the way to go, man. I mean, the reality of it. He has another video. Let's check out the other video. And again, you know, now in this video, he's talking about, like, what the fuck is going on here? Why the fuck are we releasing rapists? Why are we releasing murderers? Why are we releasing all of these fucking people and now starting to arrest others for not wearing a mask and not wearing you know, not, you know, going to whatever, not social distancing, not whatever? What the fuck is wrong with you people? That's why they need to be armed, because otherwise we're all going to get enslaved like that, man. He's like hitting it hard, and I'm like, motherfucker. If Trump were to talk like that, I would be on his. I would definitely be, but he doesn't say that shit. All right. Nobody says this shit. It's like, how? It's like, imagine if one of those motherfuckers that got released was the one that raped your daughter, raped your whatever, you know, raped your mother, huh? And he's like, listen, and you let that motherfucker free? What the fuck is wrong with you? Hey, how's it going, expat at large? And again, you know, in a place like Brazil, you know, they had something, you know, they were like just a few hours away from pure communism back in the 60s, in 64 to be exact. And they fought that back, and they had like a major like type of civil war for 20 years until they were able to fucking reestablish everything, and they are where they are now. And now they want to fucking give it up again and fucking go down that route again. That's why he's like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with you people? He goes, and again, he's like, I know what's wrong with you people. That's why we gotta sign a decree and just fucking arm everybody, because, you know, I'm not gonna fucking sit here and fucking have a discussion with you fucking corrupt pieces of shit. You know what I mean? When we should just allow, you know, the people to be armed and let them decide for themselves what the fuck they think. So again, but again, we know we can all agree to disagree. But again, you know, this is why, you know, we need things like privacy coins and start focusing on, you know, privacy, you know, because, you know, it's all part of this new world that we're moving into, man. You know, if they're gonna, I mean, it depends on where you are. You know, they're either coming for your guns, they're coming for your wealth, they're coming for you. All right, and many places already they're coming for you because you got COVID. Hey, look, man, by the way, Dale Smith, I agree with you, man. You know, I'm not a violent guy. I'm not about violence, you know what I mean? I'm not about that shit, you know what I mean? Despite how I am and what I say and what I talk about. But the thing is, the reason you gotta arm everybody is to avoid violence. Because again, as you're seeing in protests in the U.S. right now, you're not seeing the cops, you know, you're seeing it in a few places. But you're not seeing the cops cracking the heads of the average citizen in the U.S. during these protests. Why? Because during every one of these protests in the U.S., you're seeing a bunch of armed militia keeping back the cops from exuding violence on the people. But when there's no protection, meaning meaning that your protest does not have guns or does not have anything in order to protect your protest, to protect you from them, then yeah, they're going to be acting on violence. They're going to be cracking your head open, like you see all over the world, as we've been watching in videos today. We're going to watch again. You're seeing the police cracking heads left and right because the people have no way to fight back. But when you have just an AK-47 or a bunch of fucking crazy motherfuckers with AK-47s and willing to use it, guess what? These fucking pussy-ass, bitch-ass cops out there, that fucking, already abuse the citizens all the time. All of a sudden now, these pussy motherfuckers, they're not going to be, trying to arrest somebody with an AK-47 pointed at them. In fact, they're going to stand down and allow you to exercise your rights and allow you to exercise your liberties. And by the way, I'm sorry if I'm getting loud. Love you, fist pound, but sorry. But that's the point of all this shit. I'm not a gun advocate. Meaning I'm not a gun guy. I don't like guns. But I am a Second Amendment advocate. And it's because of this. It's because exactly what he's saying and all this other stuff. It's because if you have your gun, okay, if you got your guns, you got your militia, again, you're not going to use it unless they attack you. And guess what? Since they know that you are going to use them, if they attack, they're not going to attack. And if they do, you can defend yourself. Okay? That's what the need for these things are. It's not so that the citizenry can go and attack the government. That's not what it's for. If it gets to that point, well, we have the ability to do that as well. As we should. You know what I mean? Take our country back like you see all over the world. But we're not going to see that. We're a peaceful people. We're peaceful. We just want the government and the police and these people to leave us the fuck alone. And that is the way that they can leave you the fuck alone. Because when they feel threatened that they could get hurt, then they're going to leave you alone. Look, it's the same scenario with the guy that beats his wife. All right? A guy that beats women or abuses women, that motherfucker is not going to fuck with another guy. He's a pussy. He only beats women, all right? You as a man can confront that guy very easily because he's too much of a pussy to fight you, another man out there. You follow me? So it's kind of like the same thing with these fucking rent-a-cops out there. You know what I mean? As long as you're not armed, as long as you're standing down, as long as you're, following directives, they're going to come down on you hard. But if all of a sudden you're standing there with the fucking AK-47 with your buddies, with bazookas and tanks and all that shit, listen, man, these guys are too much of a pussy to fucking come out there and try to arrest you. And that's the reality of it, man. That's just the way it is. And we've seen this as the beginning of time. This has always happened. It's just that now, in the last 100 years, we got these brand new things called guns. In the last couple hundreds of years, okay? And that's really, really what allowed back in 1776, allowed the U.S., citizens at that time, aka the revolutionary forces, aka the 13 colonies, aka our founding fathers, that technology is what allowed them to push back the fucking British. I mean, this is the reality of it, okay? And I could go on. And that's why these things are important right now. It's to protect ourselves from them. It's not so that we can use them on them. And it's all about peace. Peace. But sometimes you got to use a little tough love. And just remind these motherfuckers, hey, if you don't want to use peace, don't worry about it. We're more than happy to get violent too, you pieces of crap. All right? This is all right? But anyways, this speech is already over. Let's go back to a few more protests out there. Sorry I got a little hot and heavy there. But again, this is right now, live in, live in Hong Kong. This is coming to you live from Hong Kong right now here. Is it live? I don't even know what's going on here. Maybe not. By the way, I hope the stream is coming out all right. But yeah, look, I mean, it's funny. Like, I love depending on the rant I go on, depending on whether the people want to hear this shit or not. And it's okay. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just speaking my truth. You know what I mean? Everyone can, it's up to you to figure it out and decide. You know what I mean? It's not up to me. If you're allowing me or a government to decide for you, you already lost. You got to make these decisions for yourself. So, Let me see. Let's see what else we got real quick here. I want to show some protests because I want to show you guys what's going on. What else is going on around the world right now? Let me see. Here we go. Let's go to Germany. So this is Germany right now. A couple days ago. Hope you guys can see that. See if we get a little better quality on that. But anyways, yeah, sorry, it's getting hot. I think my computer's just getting extra hot. Anyways, I'm going to read some chats. Chatted it up real quick. Just read a little chats while play some music. By the way, shout out to everyone out there today. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys to death. You guys are the bomb. Diggity. I don't give a fuck what big government says about you. I love you. Alright, so does Lambo. No, sorry. Fucking blew your speakers there. Alright, let's read a little bit of the chats. See what's up out there. I see you guys are getting into it right there. I see. No infighting, guys. Remember, it's all about the love, right? Keep that love. Keep the peace. How's it going, Nano Joe? Oh, and by the way, so Alemao was talking about that too, because again, I'm in Mexico right now, and there's a big situation with that as well. But again, now seeing the situation as it's developing, it's like, you know what, man? I know for a fact that the average American citizen right now is extremely happy that they are armed with a militia, whether it's the cartels or not, you know, in order to protect them from the NWO agenda, you know, in one shape, form, or another. You know what I mean? So, you know, it is what it is. But that's the way I'm seeing it right now. Yeah, I'm just reading the comments real quick, guys. Sorry, I'm here. But yeah, guys, you know, at the end of the day, man, the police, you know, those people, those forces, you know, that group of individuals, they have always been, and they go back as far as the Romans. Okay, a lot of this shit always goes back that far. But again, you know, the police, you know, are there to protect the interest of private corporations, of private entities. Okay. Of government. They're not there to protect you. That's what they tell you, but they're not there to protect and serve you. They're there to protect and serve big daddy government, protect and serve corporations and their interest. Again, if you call them and say, "Hey, someone stole my whatever, I want to report that," they don't even fucking show up. They want to take the report through, you know what I mean, through the fucking phone, and they don't follow up. They don't give a fuck. But all of a sudden now, a corporation or a government entity calls them up, "Hey, I need you," because they're there before they even finish the sentence. Why? Because they're the ones that pay their bills. Okay? They're the ones that pay their salary. That's what they're there to do. They're there to protect private entities from us. That's why they beat us over the fucking head and arrest us and treat us like shit, because we're the riffraff that they're supposed to be protecting their corporations from, and their entities and their governments from. So that's it. You know what I mean? Again, that's why we need to have an armed citizenry in order to do that. All right. And by the way, I mean, I got a random email the other day, you know, saying, "Hey, do you want to get your concealed weapons permit? You know, you can do it online. You know, blah blah blah." I'm like, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I do. Duke says baby boomers and Merida suck. Generally I would agree with you, but one thing that I've fuck it, let's do a little side note, side chat. When I first got here, again, I could not deal with any expats. I could not deal with anyone that lived out here because I just did not fit into there. Whenever I would go into the Facebook groups and all that shit, and every other person was a Karen or some shit like that, I was like, oh, bro, I'm not gonna fit in here. But guess what? Because of all the videos that I've made and all the stuff that I've made, and now I have a presence here in Merida, guess what? So many people like you and Lucy and so many people now not only know me, but have reached out to me, and we're starting to form our own little community, and we're starting to fucking kind of like, come out of the woodwork, you know what I mean? Because again, most of us have been hidden because we don't want to deal with these fucking people. And so now all of a sudden, strength in numbers, and we're starting to see that there's a lot of like-minded individuals out here like you and me and so on and so forth. So yeah, I agree with you with what you're saying, about, all these NPCs, all these robots, all these, expats, all these fucking Karens and shit like that out there. But, again, the longer I'm here, the more I'm realizing, there's more of us than there are of them, and we're all just finding each other now. One of the things that the quarantine kind of fucked up for me, was the fact that I was trying to do a meetup, trying to do a whatchamacallit, a Jose or Jose meetup or whatever, people that watch my stuff and follow my stuff meetup, so that we can start gathering, and creating groups and meeting and networking and all that shit. Because again, even with another expat, I don't want to do business for the most part or work with an expat that is, like these Karens. I want to do work with expats that get along with me and vice versa and all that shit, So, and it goes both ways, Same as, so we're all kind of like looking for each other, and we're all kind of running away from those other groups. And again, just like you're seeing here with the protests, everyone has had enough of Karens. Everyone has had enough of all this bullshit. Everyone is just trying to, get their fucking liberties back, that's just basically what it is. More than anything else. So yeah, for sure, interesting times that we're moving into, and we're not alone out here, man. We're really not. I'm really discovering that and finding that out, that we're really not that alone out here. There's more of us than we think, and yeah, there is a large group of these Karens out there, but you know what? There's Karens everywhere, and now more than ever, remember, these Karens are feeling more empowered than ever. And one thing I kind of figured out last night when I was talking to Christian, because okay, here in Merida, we're seeing that the locals want everything to open, and the locals are kind of done with this whole shit. But a lot of the expats, a lot of the people that have dollars, they don't want it to end. And I realize, I think I know why, because the longer this gets extended, the more valuable their dollars get. You feel me? And they get more bang for their money. So basically, they want everyone to suffer for their own fucking selfish purposes, so that they can, have their dollars valued more, and they can fucking whatever, save more, buy more, do more, whatever the fuck. So, I thought of that. I'm like, man, motherfuckers, that because at this point, it doesn't even make any sense to even keep following this agenda, unless you are part of the agenda. And that's it, like, it's straight up. All right, let me put a little, let me see. I want to read some chats. I know it's going hog wild in there. Let's see what other. All right, let's see. Look, Ukraine. All right, we're just gonna go. By the way, we're going through all these countries. Okay, we're going every country that I get recommended here. Okay, so these are all the countries that we're all gonna be checking out. All the protests that are happening all over the world. We've already seen Hong Kong, Paris, Germany. Now we're looking at the Ukraine. Okay, we know that there's protests right now in Minneapolis and all that shit, and so on and so forth. And again, and it's funny because, as I sit here and I talk about the fact that we are getting separated now more than ever, as, I keep talking about the fact that we need to come together against, the forces. Again, I have someone like Expat at Large, by the way, shout out to you, out there starting some shit. And again, it's your right, your freedom, you're, you to do whatever you want out there. But it's like, why are we not working together constructively in order to figure, something out here? But again, it's like, why? Because it's like, people are on teams now. It's team COVID, team non-COVID, team government, team no government. So that's it. And so now we're really going to be hitting some interesting times going forward, because again, now it's team government, team vaccine, team, all that bullshit, team control versus team don't control me, team fuck you, team suck it, team I'm going to take my fucking liberty and life back and all that shit. And that's what we're seeing right now in every which way possible, all right? In every medium and everything. We're seeing it. Whether we're seeing it in the chat right now, we're seeing it live on screen, or we're experiencing it, everywhere. I mean, it's happening everywhere. And that's what they want. They want us to be fighting against each other, not fighting against them. But look at this. This is Ukraine right now, guys. I'm just reading all the chats. This is way too much fun. Jeez. Oh, look, USA protesters. Well, hold on. I don't want to see. I want to see real protests about Bulgaria. Let's check out Bulgaria. But again, guys, just like there's a lot of people out there that want to see, good things for the world, there's a lot of people out there that just want to see the world burn. Whether it's a police officer, whether it's somebody out there that just wants to see their value grow at the expense of others and all that shit. Because again, one of the things that I teach you guys on this channel is how to protect your wealth, how to grow your wealth, how to be rich, you know what I mean? And not just in life, but be rich in monetary value or whatever. And by doing it without hurting anyone else. But there's a lot of people that just don't want to do that. There's a lot of people that, when people are like, oh, how are we going to get to a communism? How are we going to get to the gulags? How are we going to get to the FEMA camps? How are we going to get to the internment camps again? It's like, it's very easy. It's happened many, many, many times over history, because when there's a total takeover, there's always two groups of people. The people that are going to fight it back, and then there's always going to be the people that are just, more than happy to serve the government entity, to kiss the boot, to be, the lapdog, to be this, that, you know what I mean? It's just the way it is. It's always been that way, you know what I mean? And it's not going to change. But the reality is that there's more of us that don't want that than there is of them. And at a moment like this, again, I'm a non-violent guy. I am. But I'm also, I very, very much understand the fact that, sometimes the threat of violence needs to at least be there in order to, get shit done. And it's just the reality of it, man. You know what I mean? Again, I'm not the violent guy, but we know how it works. And if we are disarmed, we have no chance against these modern weapons. Okay? As they roll these tanks down the street, what are we going to do? We're going to fucking hit them with rocks? No, we're not. We need to hit them with rockets. Okay? And again, I don't want it to get to that point. But again, it's not up to us. We don't want it to get to that point. They are the ones pushing us to that point. Again, if you don't want it to get to that point, that's why people are wearing their mask, complying with government, doing whatever the fuck it is that they tell them. Give me a vaccine, give me an RFID chip, because they don't want to confront. Okay? But the people that do want to confront is because they don't want any of those things. They don't want a fucking special passport. They don't want a vaccine. They don't want an RFID chip. They want to be left alone. They don't want to be paid more taxes without representation, and so on and so forth. And again, just like Benjamin Franklin says, Those who trade away their freedom for safety deserve neither. And that's what's going on now. You know, like if you would rather be safe than have freedom, then, you know, no, man. You know, right now, and look, people have to understand that in order for you to have real freedom and liberty, in order for that to happen, then you have to fight for it. It's not free. It's never free. It will never be free. You need to fight it and protect it. If you don't, you will not have it. And that's it. And they will take it away from you because you are giving it to them. All right? Let's not forget that, guys. Okay? So, let's see. Let's check out the Netherlands. Shout out to everybody out there. Oh, the Puerto Rican in you. That explains a lot, brother. A lot. I'll leave it there. Coño, bro, no me digas, Eric. Like, that explains a lot, dog. You know, trust me. Man, my mom's boyfriend is Puerto Rican, all right? My second mom was Puerto Rican, all right? Let's just say I got a lot of experience with Puerto Ricans, all right? I'm not going to say anything good or bad, all right? Pero ya tú sabes, bro. Yo soy cubano y ya tú sabes what I think, all right? Bingo, bro. Anyways, just trying to, anyways, all right. Gotta be peaceful here, man. We gotta love each other. Yeah, sorry, just reading some comments and stuff, you know, checking you guys out. You know, running out of steam here. You know, I've been streaming for a little while. A lot while. But I think we covered a lot today. You know, we're still covering more. You know, we're seeing what's going on all around the world. Let me see if. Let me see. Minneapolis protest. Is there any Minneapolis protest happening right now? Let me see. Here, let's check this out. This is Minneapolis.
Protesters poured onto the street in Minneapolis on Tuesday night.
So right now we're looking at you know, so that's it. I mean, you know, honestly, we're at a point now where people have had enough. You know, we're going to be seeing this huge push for liberties and freedom all around the world. And it's not going to end pretty. You know, when I talk about Bitcoin, when I talk about privacy coins like Monero, when I talk about silver, when I talk about doing these things, it's because we need to protect ourselves because we are heading into a very, very tumultuous time. I mean, we're only at the very, very beginning of everything right now. We have so much more, you know, left to go. We haven't even started yet. And yeah, you know what I mean? It's we got to protect ourselves, you know what I mean? Protect our wealth, you know, protect our everything. Because, you know, it's going to come at a point, just like this coronavirus hit us, you know, it just came out of nowhere, just like the economic downturn came out of nowhere, just like all of these things came out of nowhere, all of these other things that I'm talking about are also going to just come out of nowhere. But they're only going to be coming out of nowhere to those that are not seeing it. Because none of this stuff is coming out of nowhere. We're seeing exactly where it's coming from. We've been seeing it for years. So it's whether you want to wake up and see it or not. And that's where we're at right now. You know what I mean? Like, basically, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, you know, very interesting times, that's for sure. By the way, this video is most likely going to get demonetized. This video is most likely going to get, censored and all that stuff because of I'm showing protests, you know. Lots of protests, and they don't like that at all, just from past experience. But I know that they're definitely censoring a lot of the Minneapolis stuff that's going on right now, and just like they're censoring a lot of the other stuff that's going on right now, just like the Hong Kong stuff. You know, Google works for China. All right, I don't give a fuck what you might think. All right, so in that sense, well, at least they work for China now. So as I was showing the Hong Kong protest, you know, that also censors that. So yeah, you know what I mean? There's a lot of censoring going on in this new world, and it's very interesting to see it all develop as we move from these centralized platforms that are censoring the fuck out of us onto other platforms that are not censored, you know, like Library and BitChute and all that stuff. And you can find all the links, you know, down below. Please check them out. All right, so you can, you know, see what Library is and stuff. I don't want to start the Library app now because it's gonna, you know, mess my thing up over here. But yeah, very interesting. Let's see what we got here. Let me see. We got Hong Kong. Oh, want to check out Miami Ocean Drive? Let's see. This Miami is where I'm from. Getting back to normal-ish. But yeah, definitely the streets are very empty. Not normal at all. Later, Duke. Later, Lucy. Thanks, you know, for everyone out there, all that stuff. Thank you, guys. Love you guys. But yeah, man. I mean, again, you know, we're moving into some interesting times, that's for sure. And yeah, you know what I mean. Hold on 1 second. I gotta go do something real quick. All right, I'm gonna leave this on. Here, I'll put a little Mega Man music. All right, hold on a second. I'll be back in like a second. Oh, I'll be back in like a second, guys. Alright. Hold on. I'm coming. Sorry, just trying to do a bunch of things at once over here. Mucho trabajo. And just answer a quick phone call there. Sorry about that. Yeah, they've been putting a lot of... By the way, shout out to you. But yeah, they've been putting a lot of cameras out here too. Thanks for everyone leaving. Thanks for joining me. For everyone coming in, welcome. How's it going, guys? But yeah, so we're looking at Ocean Drive there. We're just looking at Miami there for a minute. You guys can see what's going on there. You know, things are slowly getting back to normal. Ish. But yeah, let me see what else we got. What other protests we got? Oh, Slovenia. You got Slovenia here. So again, you know, the protests happening all over the world, not just in Minneapolis. You know what I mean? And again, you know, black people die in the U.S. all the time. Every fucking minute of every fucking day, cops are killing black people. But why, all of a sudden now, are these huge protests sparking up over this particular death? It's because, again, people have had enough. And again, it took a very visceral visual of this guy getting killed in public, you know, in the public streets, for people to go and start protesting. And we're going to see more and more of this because people are tired. People have had enough, you know. Not just enough of the quarantine, enough of the police violence, enough of the government overreach, enough of, you know, just enough of everything. Enough! You know, people are sick and tired of being sick and tired. And that's it. And so, and it's happening all over the world. And so, no matter where you are in the world, you know, you have your reasons for pushing back. In Hong Kong, they're pushing back because they're being taken over, and you know, but they're being taken over by China. And in Paris, they're pushing back because they have a lot of the similar situations that we do with our own government and our own monetary system, and taxes and without representation and all that stuff. In our country, you know, we're pushing back against police violence. We're pushing back against losing our rights, and so on and so forth. And again, it depends on what country you're in, depending on what, you know, they're fighting for, you know, depending what kind of rights they're trying to, you know, get back. You know, it seems like in Slovenia, what does it say down there? Thousands take part in anti-government bicycle protest. All right? And we were watching Germany, you know, and so on and so forth. You know, every country out there, you know, is being represented. And again, you know, it's hard to find a lot of these protests because, you know, a lot of them are being censored. Because again, there's protests in Russia right now, but Ruptly, which is RT, Russia Today, Russia, you know, they're not showing what's going on in Russia, you know what I mean? They're showing on what's happening in other parts of the world, you know? You know, but Russia is like trying to ban crypto, and they're trying to, you know, every country is trying to take control in one shape, form, or another, you know? And people are just tired, and they've had enough. And again, when all of a sudden we're seeing things like the CDC come out. The CDC is coming out and saying, oh yeah, you know, we were wrong. You know, the real death rate is 0.003, you know, blah, blah, blah. You know, people are, people are really, really upset. You know, there's a lot of people out there that are still talking and saying, oh, I'm going to wear my mask. You know, if I got to suffer, you know, for the rest of my life, even if I'm just protecting one life, I'll do it. It's like, okay, sheep. You go ahead and do your sheep shit, you know, but most people are realizing that, you know, what's going on right now is a bunch of bullshit. You know what I mean? Look, I love seeing all these crowds with nobody wearing their face mask or anything like that. That's what I want to see, because enough is enough, man. We got to get back to regular life, regularly scheduled programming. What the fuck, man? What the hell's going on? You know, why are so many people allowing this? You know what I mean? No, you know what I mean? We should not. You know, there's no reason we should allow, you know, to be taken over mentally and physically, and being put under house arrest, and being put under threat of violence and repercussion from our governments for not complying with things like wearing a face mask and all this other shit, which again, for what? For nothing. Because it's not like this thing is out there killing anybody or doing anything. In fact, it is weaker and less effective than the average cold or flu or anything like that. So what the fuck is going on? You know what I mean? Why are there so many people out there still blindly believing what the government is telling them, even when the government is telling them that it's fucking bullshit? I mean, the brainwashing is strong, guys. The brainwashing is very strong, and we need to start waking the fuck up, man, or we're gonna fucking lose everything we have, or the little that we have. All right, because that's the reality. There we go. U.S. Look at this. Armed militia joins rally against Michigan stay-at-home order alongside sheriff in Grand Rapids. There you go. That's a good sheriff. You know? The sheriff is behind the people and their guns. Let me hold on. Let's listen to this guy. I'm going to read the chat. No, we can't hear him. Oh, whatever. I'm sorry we can't hear him. Alright, I'm going to read the chat real quick. By the way, shout out to everybody. Andreas, Rated R, DJ, everybody out there. Sorry if I missed you. Yeah, expat at large. I don't know about that, bro. You know what I mean? From my experience, no, man. From my experience, that's not how it works out here. That's how it works in the U.S. In the USA, they can pull you over and search your car and do whatever the fuck they want to you, and you have no rights. Out here, it's not quite like that. Again, I don't know, you know, what parts of Mexico, whatever, and all that shit, and what your situation is, but as far as I know, it's not necessarily the case out here at all, as far as I know. And you have a lot of legal repercussion against fucking cops. That's for sure. Yeah, but you know the thing is that you got to remember all this is perfectly calculated. You know what I mean? The people that are in power, the little group of people that's in power, they want a major civil war to happen. They want this death and destruction to happen. They want everything that's happening right now. They want for it to happen. It's all perfectly calculated. Don't get it twisted out there. Don't be thinking that you know what I mean, like you know what I mean, like that we have some sort of like you know that we're waking up and we're taking the power back. Look, man, you know the people that are in power for real, they want one of two things: either A, enslave everybody, turn the whole fucking thing into dystopia 1984, and you guys are all just slaves and you can't fight back. Either that, or B, you know, just civil war all around the world, death and destruction all around the world, you know, World War III all around the world. And what's World War III going to look like? Again, it's you know the government sympathizers versus freedom sympathizers. You know, that's it. So I mean that's I mean we're seeing it right now. I mean, you know, that, but that's it. That's where we're going right now. And so I think that it's gonna be, you know, the people that are sympathizing with the government versus people like us that don't sympathize with the government, and we're clashing more and more each day. And yeah, you know, that's what's going to eventually cause these civil wars. And depending on who wins in what particular region, you know, if a certain faction of people win, meaning if the government backed individuals win, then they're going to be turned into dystopia 1984. If the certain group of people win, like, you know, freedom fighters win, then we're going to see those individuals establish a republic. And we're going to be seeing a lot of that. You know, we're going to be seeing a lot of death and destruction all around the world. You know, we're going to see new republics start setting up and take shape, and we're going to see new communisms, new dystopias, new technocracies taking over. And that's it. It's the same as it ever was, man. Sorry, reading the chat. Sorry about that, guys. I got a little distracted there. Let me see what else we got. There we go. See, this is the kind of shit we want to see, man. This is the kind of shit we want to see. You know, they're giving haircuts, they're doing work, they're doing massage. Look, man. See, look, this is the thing, man. This is what we don't. You know, if we don't do this, then we will lose our country. You know, this is why guns are important. Okay, right here, the reason that the police is not breaking this protest up is because of these armed individuals that you see them all over the place surrounding the citizens. Okay, that's it. That's it. If these armed individuals are not there, all of these other people, all of these kids, all of these mothers, all of these people out here just trying to earn a few bucks, just trying to live, just trying to survive, just trying to do their thing, you know, they would all have gotten smashed. All right? So again, you know what I mean? Like, thank God that there's a bunch of, you know, people out there that with their, you know, that know their gun rights, you know the Constitution, that want to, you know what I mean, protect other citizens, that want to act as a militia for whatever reason that they're doing. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, thank God that they're out there, and that's it. You know what I mean? Like that. I mean, that's as simple as that. You know what I mean? Like, it's either you protect yourself or you don't. And again, these people are not inciting violence. They are protecting themselves from other individuals that are trying to incite violence on them for just trying to live a normal life, meaning go outside. Let me see if this has volume on it. Nah, no volume on this one either. Yeah, a lot of these videos don't have volume. Sorry about that, guys, but you know. Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir. And again, I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm not a left supporter. I'm not a supporter of anything. I'm a supporter of don't tread on me, like you're looking at right there. I'm a supporter of freedom and liberty. All right? I'm a supporter of humans. All right? That's what I'm a supporter of, bro. That's it. You know, fuck everything else, man. Fuck these governments. Fuck these tyrants. Fuck these people in power. Fuck them. All right? But look at the cops. Look at the cops, how friendly they are. Look how nice and friendly they are. Because the last thing they want to do is have a whole fucking militia with AK-47s that really do know how to shoot their guns. Because look, man, let's not get that shit twisted. Let's not, a lot of these people that are militia, that are the ones that are protecting us, you know what I mean, from these fucking cops, these fucking pigs. Again, you gotta remember, these pigs are so scared of us citizens that they gotta call like 13 cops to arrest one individual. They can't even shoot their guns. They don't even know what the fuck they're doing. And they're going up against a bunch of motherfuckers out there that do know what the fuck they're doing, that do know how to use their gun, that do know how to shoot it, that do know how to aim, that do know how to fucking, act calmly under duress. So do you think that these cops know what's up? They're not stupid. You know what I mean? They know that if they engage, they're going to get their ass handed to them. All right? And in this case, if they're going to engage with these motherfuckers that are going to hand them their ass, that means that they're going to die. All right? So they don't want to engage. They only want to engage with individuals that can't fight back. All right? But they don't want to engage with you if you can fight back. Again, going back to like the woman beater, the guy that beats women, the guy that abuses women. That guy, beats women and abuses women because they can't fight back. They don't have no power to fight back. They don't have anything like that. But that's why they won't get in a fight with a man. And if a man gets in a fight with someone like that, they'll kick their fucking ass, no matter how little they know how to fight. Only because, again, these guys are, they're fucking pussies. They don't fucking know, how to fight. They don't have the balls to even come up against a man. That's why they do what they do. So it's the same shit here, man. All these guys are, they lack confidence and power, so they go to the police academy to get a fucking badge, so that they can have this power over over people. And we know this, man. Almost every fucking cop is the fucking piece of shit guy from high school, that didn't get no respect. They used to get beat up. They used to fucking, be the loser. We know that. Now, there's a few good cops out there, but they are few and very far in between, and they don't even fucking count, because if anyone that's a good cop and allows their other cops to participate in this, they're bad cops as well. They're enablers, okay? So my suggestion is look for another job. Become a firefighter, okay? If you really want to help your community. But if you're a cop, all you're doing is enabling these pieces of shit in one form or another, all right? So, be a fucking firefighter and join your local militia, all right? That's how you can really protect your fucking community, all right? So again, they're protesting, right? Look. And so look, all they can do is write a fucking citation. And what are they trying to do? Because by them writing a citation, okay, they are trying to incite the crowd. Okay? They are trying to, instill their power upon the people. And they're trying to instill, they're trying to get the crowd and the people with the guns to act. And guess what? No. Because again, the only reason that these people, the protesters, have guns to begin with is just in case these fucking pieces of shit want to get stupid, in case they want to get violent, in case they want to push somebody or knock somebody down or arrest somebody or get violent. That's why those guns are there, to stop that. Now, they can't stop them from writing a ticket. That's their right. That's their prerogative. That's their whatever. Now, just like it's your right to contest that and take it to court, all right, and have that thrown out because it's unconstitutional. Okay? Just, throwing it out there, guys. So, I mean, we got to remember all this shit, man. We got to remember what's going on right now. And, these are the things that make me proud to be an American, to make me proud to be Cuban, to make me proud to be living out here in a place like Mexico, and to, again, be proud American. Here, let me show you. Don't get it twisted. Don't be getting that shit twisted, brother. I'm 100%, all right? Born and raised in the U.S. of A. I bleed red, white, and blue, all right? So that's why I call it like it is, because I care about my fucking country. I care about the citizens of the world. I care about all of you guys, all right? I don't care about one agenda or another. I just care about freedom and liberty, which is what this flag is supposed to stand for, okay? That's it. And anyone that doesn't understand that is the fucking tyrant that we're trying to fucking stop. Because that's it. You know what I mean? If you don't stand for fucking freedom and liberty, then you stand for fucking tyranny. And that's the truth. Ask our forefathers, okay? Ask our forefathers. Either you stand for freedom and liberty or you stand for tyranny. Which one is it? Which one is it? Yeah, man. So, yeah, man. That's what we need more of, man. We need more of these protests, and we need to, be out there without the mask. We need to fucking, go back, Let me see what else we got. This is Lebanon. Let's go to Lebanon right now. Yeah, become a firefighter, man. Fuck yeah. Oh, cool. Yes, yes. All right. Yeah, sorry, I just got an email right now. Anyways, yeah, I mean, yes, for the people protesting, yeah, number one. But number two, I just got an email right now from the immigration office. So, I mean, not only does it mean that my immigration papers are going back into work, but it means that government offices are starting to get back online. That means that they're starting to really lift that lockdown and all that shit out here in Mexico. By the way, so starting June 1st, which is Monday, they are already lifting all of the, a lot of the social distancing and a lot of the face mask wearing and a lot of that bullshit out here in Mexico. Every country is different, and all that good stuff. They might be extending lockdowns in other parts of the U.S. and other shit, and they might be even the lockdown opening might be a little softer in the area of Mexico I'm in, but as a country, as a whole, and on the national level, they're ending it all June 1st. And I just got an email from immigration. Fuck yeah. So, that means that things are starting to get back online, because the government office was one of the first things that closed, just like with schools and all that shit way back when. So if I got an email from them, that's a great sign. Fuck yeah. All right, so I think we're heading in the right direction, at least out here in Mexico. So for sure, another reason I'm so happy to be out here. Fuck yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think I'm going to be ending it soon. Okay, I'm going to wait a few more minutes. I'm going to wait to round off a nice 2 hours, all right? So we're going to do another 8 more minutes, all right? You know what? Let's do some question and answers right now, okay? Please, let's talk about anything. If you guys have any questions, any comments, anything you guys want to talk about, let's use these last like 8 minutes, 10 minutes, to answer some questions, talk about whatever, as we're watching East Jerusalem scuffle, as people are being dragged away from praying. They're not being allowed to pray. They're not being allowed to worship. As we watch that, shout out to Letita out there, for the the $10 Patreon. Appreciate you. I appreciate every patron I have. I appreciate every one of you guys out there is always contributing to the show in one form or another. Love you guys. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for helping support the show, helping me make better content all the time and all that good stuff. So just want to give a shout out to all of you guys out there. But again, yeah, we're just gonna do a little quick, session of answers. What is it? Question answer session. In case anybody out there has anything you guys want to talk about, anything you want to add, anything at all. Please don't all speak at once. Take your time. But so far we've just been watching protests all over the world. So it's a great sign. It's a great thing. It's a good thing, man. But you see the difference between guns and no guns. Okay? You see the difference between guns and no guns. The citizenry right there does no guns. So they can't really do anything. Even a guy in a suit, these guys in suits, they can arrest someone. They can stop people. They can use their force because they got guns, they got weapons. But when you also have guns, it's not as easy for them to try to arrest you. Because, you got another motherfucker on your side that's willing to pull that fucking trigger to save you. Right now, all they got is, their bodies, their hands, that's it. And they can arrest old people. They can do whatever they want, man. No, man. I guess nobody wants to talk to me, man. Let's check out Germany. Oh, that's 4 years ago. Okay, not that one. Trying to keep it, within the last couple of weeks. Let's go to Venezuela. We got the Iranian tankers making their way. See what we got. Let me see. Iran is slowly starting to get back to normal. Iran is starting to open up. Smoke them if you got them. What's up, Cali? How's it going, brother? Hope all is well, man. Hope you're doing well over there. But yeah, we've just been watching a bunch of protest videos and a bunch of shit like that. Oh, let's go to Haiti. Even in Haiti, guys. Even in Haiti. We're seeing this all over the world right now. Just again, people wanting, trying to get their freedoms back, their rights back, their lives back, whatever. Oh yes, I am definitely seeing that, brother. Yeah, not just house prices, but rental prices. A lot of prices are going down out here, So yeah, I'm definitely seeing that. So yeah, the revolution has begun. The revolution will not be televised. It's going to be YouTubeized. It's not going to be on television. It's going to be on the internet. Nah, it's not the end. It's the beginning. It's the beginning of a new chapter. It's the beginning of us getting our rights back. But you see why you need guns. You see what people can do against these machines. Nothing. So, no. But yeah, guys. Actually, no. This is a very beautiful beginning to us having our freedoms and our liberties back and fighting back against tyranny and all that bullshit. So no, I don't look at it like at the end of the world or anything like that at all. No way. I look at it like the beginning. If we were not fighting back, still, then yeah, man, I'm definitely part of this is the end of the world. We're going into dystopia. I was one of those. You guys have been watching me throughout this whole process. So if we would not be fighting back, then yeah, man, I would be thinking that way. But the fact that we're fighting back and pushing back and all that shit, that shows me that yeah, we have a long way to go. And we are going to get our shit back. We are not going to allow this NWO agenda or whatever the fuck, to take hold. We're just not going to allow it. We're not allowing it. All right? So that to me is a humongous ray of sunshine in between all of this fucking insanity, honestly, to tell you the truth. So let me see what other protests we can show as we're winding the show down. We just have a couple more minutes, just two or three more minutes, guys, and we're out of here. Yeah, I know they're not going to give your rights back. You need to take them back, and that's what we're doing. You know, people are taking back their rights. They're definitely not going to give them back. Are you kidding me? They're taking away more rights as we speak. Every time that they pass a new, stimulus bill, every time that they do anything, as the longer we're in lockdown, the more they're taking our rights away. So that's what they're doing. So again, in order for you to get your rights back, you need to demand them and take them back by force. Otherwise, you're just not going to have any rights, period. So, oh, shout out to Jonathan Maurer out there. Thank you so much for the $10 sponsorship there. Thank you so much. So again, thank you out there to everybody. Thank you to all my patrons. Again, thank you so much to Jonathan. Thank you so much for who else was it? To Letita. Thank you so much to Callie Picker. Thank you so much to all of you guys out there. You guys are the fucking best. I love you guys to death. Thank you to all the love and support I get all the time, whether it's when you guys leave a comment, when you guys share the video, which is the most important thing that you can do in order to help this situation out. Whenever you leave a like, anything that you guys do, period, end the story, even if just hanging out in the chat, hanging out here, it's all awesome. And I love you guys, and you guys are the best, and I appreciate you guys more than you can ever imagine. And yeah, you know what I mean? Like, this is only the beginning, guys. This is only the beginning. We're going to be seeing a lot of fucking changes coming our way. We're seeing them already. And it's going to be some interesting times, that's for sure. It's going to be some interesting times, fun times. And if you set yourself up right, you're going to be right. You're going to be all right, that's for sure. So, anyways, guys, thank you so much. I love you guys to death. But I think I got to get the hell out of here, all right? It's already past my lunchtime. I got to get me and Lambo gotta go get ourselves some tacos. So you already know what's up. So guys, thanks again for watching. Don't forget to please, go to the website, subscribe to my other channel, find my other content, check out the podcast, check out everything else that I have out there. Check me out on Library, earn cryptocurrency for watching these videos. Go to BitChute, check me out there, and check out, just check out all the links, okay? Just check it out. Check it out, man. Oh, yeah, and check out the brand new video. I know I keep forgetting but check out the brand new video that I posted on the other channel yesterday, the pool party. I inflated the inflatable pool, and I recorded it, and it was funny. So enjoy it, all right? Hope you guys enjoy it, all right? Thanks again for watching. I love you guys. I want to give a big shout out to Stacks, Callie, Expat at Large, Lucy, Jonathan Maurer, Rated R, DJ, Luke, Dale, Andreas, everyone else that fucking came out there and joined me today. Nano Joe, you name it. All of you guys. Love you to death. Thank you so much for joining me as always. You already know the deal. I'm going to see if I can have another video up in the next few days. If not, I'll see you guys here on Wednesday. Same bat time, same bat channel. All right? So don't forget to please like, please subscribe, please share if you haven't done already. And more important than anything else, stay awesome. Thanks again for joining me today, and see you guys on the flip side. Later.